Hello there and welcome. Um, you're here because you want to know what's all this hoopla about Bitcoin, how can you use it, how can you benefit from it. In case you don't know me, my name is Leo Ramos, and I've been playing around with the cryptocurrency for quite some time now, and I've been having a great time with it. But besides that, it's one of the things that I've come across is seeing some of the challenges that people are having with being able to get started with Bitcoin. First of all, like what is it? How do you use it? How do you get it? Why are we even using it? So I'm going to take it to a very small journey. It'll only take a few minutes. So thank you for your patience with it. And let's just start with the very basics of it. Now this little image here, which I'll probably put below this video, it just does a good summary of basically what Bitcoin is and what it does. Although I'm going to cover it even simpler. But I just want to point out a couple of things about Bitcoin. And basically, you can think of it as the internet currency. Okay, Mexico has pesos, the U.S. has dollars, the internet has Bitcoin. That's it. But some of the biggest attractions of that is that Bitcoin is based off an open source, tamper-proof code that really can't be broken. Because if it is, then the whole system obviously doesn't work. And it's already been trying to attempt to get hacked a bunch of different times, and nobody's been able to successfully do it, at least that I'm aware of. The other very important aspect of it is that there's no middleman. This is a decentralized form of currency, which is new to the world. They haven't really ever had that in a way that's been effective, and then Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are now creating that. So much so that there's some big companies, as you can see, Target, Amazon, so forth, that are actually adapting to it, and you're seeing that it's coming up more often. But before we get much deeper into that, let's also talk about why not only just the average person, but why businesses are using it. Here's 5 really good reasons that were shared by newsbtc.com, where the benefits of using Bitcoin is you can have lower transaction fees, which is great for the business. There's no chargebacks, can't really charge back. The international transfers are minimal compared to what you would do with a wire transfer type of thing. Fraud prevention, because it's such a secure system that you wouldn't be able to do it. And payments come in a lot faster. You don't have to wait 2-3 days for that to usually come in. So those are some of the very basics of it. But first, let's understand a little bit of the evolution of how we even got here. In the old days, we used to have commodities that we would use. Obviously precious metals are one of those that people would often use to be able to trade value. Silver, gold, and so forth. And some people still have that, which I think is great to have. However, it was very cumbersome to be able to carry around. Thus came the era of actual fiat currency, money that's actually being printed, or coins that were being used. Well, that has evolved now into the credit card industry, where obviously Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, those type of companies have really almost had basically a monopoly on being able to be utilized as a way of transfer of value. And then we started getting more computers, more devices, more technology, which opened the door to PayPal and different payment services online, which made it really nice. And of course, it wasn't long after that that the iPhone and all the smartphones came out, and then it became much, much easier to be able to share the payment methods and so forth through Apple Pay, Wallet, Google Plus, etc., Google Wallet, etc. So it made it very convenient. The challenge is, though, that it's still centralized around a bank. You still need to have a bank account, you still need to have credit cards and so forth in order for that to work. Thus come the evolution of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now there are hundreds of them that are out there right now, and we'll talk later on how you might be able to benefit from all. But ultimately here, you're talking about Bitcoin being the king. Okay, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all. So I got to stop here for just a moment and share with you a couple of stories that I think are important to share. And it'll be just a minute, but see, 35 years ago, about so, that when I was having a conversation with my dad, he said, because he had been working in finance and so forth for the longest time, he said, you want to be careful because in 30 to 35 years, you're going to watch the dollar take a big hit. And I didn't know what he meant. I was just a teenager. I didn't care, whatever. And so I didn't believe him. And it's been very interesting to watch that 35 years later, we are in the situation that we're currently in. We're really in an era of a wealth transfer that is happening right under our own eyes, and the early adopters are the ones that are benefiting the most. See, A little later, I'll share a little story. Well, actually, I'll share it now. Why not? You know, Bitcoin, I came across it in 2009. I didn't take advantage of it. And you'll see in just a moment when I share this guy's story how much that would have impacted my life. So let's take a look. There's a Norwegian student, his name is Christopher Koch, who purchased 5,000 Bitcoins as he was doing a project, an education project of Bitcoin, and he purchased only $26 worth back then in 2009. That's the same year. Keep that year in mind because it's the same year that I almost did something with my money. Well, when he checked his wallet back in 2013, his value was $886,000. Now, how would you have liked to have come into wake up to your wallet and have $886,000? What makes it even worse is that 2017 now, when I'm making this video, that would have been approximately 8.5 million because Bitcoin right now it's around 1800, so probably even more than the 8.5 million for the exact same amount. So I missed the boat. And I missed the boat because now I share with you that this story for me resonates really well because in 2009 I had heard about Bitcoin. I had actually watched a little bit, learned a little bit about it, and I was like, well, I'll put in $100. Why not? What the heck? Just hold on to it. Then not even think about it much. And at that time, it was hard to find a wallet, hard to find where to get it, where to store it, that kind of stuff. So I got sidetracked and I never followed through. I never actually did it. Now imagine, he spent $25 and this is worth about 8.5 million. Had I invested my $100 and forgotten about it just like he did, I would be proud somewhere around the $27 million right now. And probably wouldn't be making this video. So the value of Bitcoin back then in 2009 was really minuscule. And then as the years have gone, 2012, you'd be able to buy some stuff. In 2013, it started going up a little bit more. In 2014-15 is when I revisited again, and I'm so glad that I did because obviously now it's worth a heck of a lot more. And the way that it's headed, all the professionals and all the people who are working with it are making predictions that this is going to be much bigger. Now that's speculative, so who knows? Could go down, could go up. But the point being is that the flow and the pattern has been one that surpassed now the value of gold. And why is that? It's because it's been usable. It's been able to be used. And that is one of its biggest attractions to it. These are some of the top 10 companies that are not biggest companies that are using it, but there's over 100,000 plus probably by the time you watch this video. And these are some pretty big names: Microsoft, Dell, Dish, Expedia. You know people that have purchased cars, who have purchased houses, who have been able to book trips entirely on Bitcoin. And that's because it's being accepted all over the place. I mean, you got some travel places, you got online stuff, you got even food, and it falls into all the categories: leisure, travel, food, online media, retailers. It's getting bigger and bigger. And every day that I look at the list, it gets even bigger and bigger. So the question now becomes, well, how do I get Bitcoin? How do I benefit from this whole aspect of it? So that's the next couple minutes, I want to spend the time going over the very basics of how that happens. So you have fiat currency, regular money, okay? You want to take that and you want to turn it into Bitcoin. Well, you take that and you got to go to an exchange. And what I mean go to an exchange, you can do it online, you can a lot of times do it over your phone and transfer your actual currency into Bitcoin. As I said, this can happen over your phone, it can happen over the computer, and once you've done that, you've visited some of the ones that are one of the more popular ones here that I've listed, and I'll put a list of them probably below this video. There will be a link somewhere in here sharing with you a bunch of other ones that are worthwhile looking at. But here you got Coinbase, Uphold, so forth. These are exchanges that will take your fiat currency and turn it into Bitcoin. Now, how do you use it? You've got Bitcoin. You've got to take that Bitcoin and you want to transfer it to somebody else. Well, you have a big long address like the one that you see right up here. And it's got to go through a network of computers, and those computers are all over the world, where they have to calculate, they have to do some calculations to be able to earn the right to be able to verify that that transaction is accurate, that you're not double spending that Bitcoin, that it's actually a legitimate transaction. And once it's done that a number of times, then it gets transferred to the other person's or business's wallet. That's it. So there's no bank, there's nothing in between other than the verification process by computers all over the world. And then that transaction gets recorded into a ledger, which is called the blockchain, and there's a history of every single transaction that has ever happened. So in order for somebody to hack this, they'd have to change the entire history They have access every computer at the same time, and that's why it's been basically virtually impossible to do it. So the next evolution of the question is, well, now I got Bitcoin, how can I use it? Well, the process is basically the opposite of how you got it. You take the Bitcoin, you switch it over to fiat currency, whatever that may be for you, and then you start using it. That's it. Now, where can you do it? You can do it at some of the same exchanges, and then you'll go there, you'll take your Bitcoin, you transfer it to fiat currency, and then you can change it to your bank. Some people don't want to do that, so they go through sort of a prepaid card. You take your Bitcoin, you put it into your prepaid card, and then you can start using it. And notice the symbols, Visa, Visas, and there might be some MasterCards out there as well, and they're evolving every single day. That means there's more and more of them that are coming out because they understand the need for it. So what do you have to do in order to get started if you wanted to kind of start playing with this? The very basics are you need a wallet. Then you need a place where you can buy Bitcoin at a trusted exchange. Now, notice how I put trusted because it's important that you understand that not every exchange, especially in the beginning, had the same level of trust. So if you would be happy to share some of those with you, and that's where we're headed. But at this point right now is you being able to understand that you got to be able to have a source that you can actually do the transfers. Then you can start using it. Take it from your Bitcoin, go send it off to somebody else. You're going to send them they're going to send you an address. The transaction gets verified, and boom. And finally, you got to turn your Bitcoin into a usable format. So for you, it would potentially be either changing back to fiat currency or taking one of the debit cards that you can prepay, and there you go. So I pause here because over the next couple of minutes, I want to make sure that we address the very next question that I'm always being asked, which is, okay, so fine, I got Bitcoin, but how do I grow it? How can I make my Bitcoin come to me faster? And really, it falls into only three categories. So no matter which opportunity, which business model, which everything, it's going to fall into one of these three. Okay, so you got to understand that you can take your currency, you can exchange it into Bitcoin, and from there have it go into your wallet. You can do this as many times as you like, and obviously that'll make your Bitcoin holdings bigger. Now, one of the things that you'll see is that there's a lot more businesses and a lot more individuals who are providing a service and they're choosing to accept Bitcoin. When you accept Bitcoin, then obviously that's another way to be able to grow it. Now, this is what I call the acquire and hold strategy, because a lot of times people hold on to Bitcoin because they understand that the value of it is going up. So you get more bang for your Bitcoin, more bang for your buck, so to speak. Now, obviously this still has an inherent risk, which is, what if the value goes down? If the value goes down, then obviously you don't have as much buying power. But in comparison to some of the currencies and what's happening with some of the currencies out there right now, kind of makes you think, huh? The second method is Bitcoin through mining. So what the heck is mining? Well, you got a Bitcoin, you want to transfer it to somebody, and I said that before. Think of it sort of like gold. If you were mining for gold, and you went through and you said, okay, I'm going to be part of that process of mining the gold. I'll do my work. In this particular case, is verification of transactions. The computer does it, not you, but the computer does it. And I'm being paid in gold. In this case, we're getting paid in Bitcoin. That's it. That's what mining is. Now, people started doing this initially, and it was very profitable, and that's how they were able to do it right off the bat. It got so big that actually the little guys ended up getting left out, and so the bigger networks from all over the internet, all over the world, started opening up to be able to do these transactions much faster. And so there's programs out there that do Bitcoin mining. You can buy a contract and be paid. Now, it is no pun intended here, but a minefield where some of these companies are flat out scams. Okay, I know from personal experience, and I also know from experiences that I've seen other people that are in our inner circles that we're running in these cryptocurrency worlds. So you've got to make sure that you go through somebody who's reputable. And if you don't know, you can go back to the person who shared this video with you, or you can contact us after this video, and we'll be happy to share those with you. Okay, so it does have an inherent risk. It's not a very high risk if you go with the right companies, because it is a process that's being used every single day, and it's needed every single day to do those transactions. So this will be around for a long time. The question becomes, how can we line up with a company that's reputable and it will actually stick around for a long time. So that is very important. Now, as far as the risk factor, I would say it's in the medium low because the companies are there. Now only put in the medium because if you go with the wrong companies, then you're taking a shot and you're hoping that they're going to stick around for a while. Okay, but it's consistent, which is nice, and you can do it in not only Bitcoin but other currencies as well. The third and final category would be Bitcoin through trading. Now, what does that mean? That means you have your Bitcoin and you're going to somehow do some level of trading. Now, whether that trading is Bitcoin for cash, so you're selling it off to somebody, you're trading for another currency. There's places where you can go and trade your Bitcoin for a different crypto coin or cryptocurrency. Or there's trading in a combination of those methods. Bitcoin for Bitcoin, when you buy low and then you sell high kind of thing. So all those are definitely a possibility. Now, I've got to tell you that when you start doing trading on your own, you either know what you're doing or you might as well just throw your money away because it's a gamble. And if you've never done it effectively, then you may run into issues. Okay? The other method that's come up quite often now is letting other people do it. Letting other people who are in the industry, who understand how to do trading, and there are companies that are coming up, that have been coming up for a while now, that do cryptocurrency trading. And there are some that have been very legitimate, and there's others that have not been. So again, it's a minefield, and as it is, you're already doing trading, which is a high risk industry already. Then it makes this a bit of a higher risk type of programs. So that being said, you got to remember, lower risk usually means lower returns. Higher risk usually means higher returns. So there's several things you got to weigh, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment. These are the important considerations you got to take into consideration before you make a decision. First of all, is what the service that's being provided, is it something that brings value to the industry? Is it helping people acquire more Bitcoin? Is it helping people be able to get Bitcoin into their life? I think inherently just Bitcoin itself is providing a great value because there's people who've never been able to use a banking system that now can. And it's huge. It's bigger than I even imagined. The next thing to consider is trust. What are the kind of things that you need to look at as you're considering an opportunity or a business or whatever you're going to do? Can I trust these individuals? Can I trust this company? Can I trust the system that they're using? Can I trust that they're paying out on a consistent basis? Can I trust that they're not going to change the terms of agreement? Because a lot of them will do. They'll start off one way and then they'll change it the other. So trust is an important factor. The other one is sustainability. Are they able to have a pattern of sustainability, and that I believe that sustainability is going to be around so that this business can be around for a long time? Now, there's no business that goes on forever. Okay, there's some that'll go on many, many years, like Coca-Cola probably, and that kind of thing, but the majority of the businesses are not around forever. So be realistic in that. And then at the end of the day is your risk versus your reward. Okay, is the risk that I'm taking into account everything that I've had there? Because there's some programs that maybe they have a really good system, but they don't have transparency, and you kind of look at it and go, is that worth it? For you it might be, but you understand that there's a higher risk for that because there may not be the transparency that you'd like, but there is a reward. So you have to weigh it yourself and go, okay, I'm willing to take that risk. And here's the one tip that I will give everybody: do not invest or put or risk anything that you're not willing to lose, particularly if you're playing in the arena of the trading section, because it can be very risky. And if you're going to put the food money, if you're going to put the rent money, then that's just silly. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, but so what's next? What is it that something what should we be doing now that we've heard all this? Okay, we're basically wrapping it up saying, hey, get familiar with Bitcoin, get a wallet, get Bitcoin, get a debit card if you want to use that to pay off whatever it is you're going to pay, and then decide how you want to start to grow it. Now, once you've made the decisions, do you want to buy and hold it? Do you want to mine it? Do you want to do trading? Or what I think is the best strategy for me and for those people that I've seen do really well as well is to diversify. Diversify from the lower risk to the higher risks and whatever level of comfort is appropriate for you. Now, in order to do that, you might need to connect with somebody who's actually been doing it. But on top of that, you also make sure that you continue to learn and just use it on your daily life. We'd be happy to help you with it. That's why this video is made. Get back with the person who shared this with you. If this is the first time you see it, I'll be happy to share my experiences with the understanding that I just give you the information of my experiences and what I've learned. At the end of the day, I like it, leave it so that the person makes a decision that's best for themselves. I don't like the big pitch, as you can tell probably from my share here. It's just simply get yourself educated, connect, and then go with whatever it is that's going to work best for you. But I got to tell you this. I know that I don't want to miss the boat again. I missed it once before, and let me finish that before I show you that image. That story that I was telling you, back in 2009, I almost put $100 in. Okay, I got sidetracked, didn't know where to get the wallets, didn't know whatever, didn't know how to buy it, didn't know any of that. Then I got sidetracked, and I didn't take action. And then I had my child in 2010, forgot all about it, didn't even think about it, and then later on I come to find out that guy had 886,000, and he would have been 8 million rich right now. I would have been about 27 million. So here's the thing. I don't want you to miss the boat. If this is an area of interest to you, I'd like to make sure that you at least see this. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, invited 5 people to his Harvard room 9 years ago to discuss a business opportunity. Only 2 people showed up, and they got in. Today, those 2 people are billionaires, Dustin Moskovitz and Eduardo Saverin, that 6.5 and 3.4 billion, respectively. I like this quote at the end where it says that nothing is more expensive than a closed mind and a missed opportunity. Thinking about it, which is what I did in 2009, for too long can cost you a whole lot of money and time. Taking action now can earn a whole lot. It's obviously your choice. Your life is your decision to make. So make whatever decision that works best for you and work with that today. So thank you for watching. If you have any more questions, anything else you'd like to know about how to grow your Bitcoin, be happy to share whatever my experiences are, and you can visit bodymindsuccess.com/Bitcoin. Have an amazing day. If you liked this video, please click like, share, comment, or just watch it over and over again, whatever works for you. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.